God help me. God help me. Please don't hurt me. Don't desert me. God save me. Don't forsake me. Oh, God. God save me from the life you gave me. Please, God, heal me from the hands you deal me. God, mend me from the pain you send me. Oh, God. God, help me. God, help me. Please redeem me. Don't bereave me. Please, God, spare me all the things that scare me. Oh, God. Oh, God, don't you see all this pain, all this misery, all this suffering, all this sorrow, all this paperwork, deadlines, bills, congestion, heartache, customer service. God help me. God help me. Please don't hurt me. She was my true love. Now she's dead and gone. She made me feel whole, and when I felt she'd hold my hand when nobody ever would. She understood. She came with me everywhere I'd go. I miss her so. She was my only true love. She was all I would ever need. But now she's dead and buried under the willow tree.
Translates to lost bread, and then later in the 16th century, Henry V.
Allez, c'est parti. Tout d'abord, comme il s'agit de pain perdu cuit au four, nous allons préchauffer le four à 400 degrés. The high school and college students
who are experimenting with LSD will be running many of our institutions and guiding public policy.
Now the communists are killing your sons in South Vietnam.
Sometimes even torture.
I said there was communism on college campuses. Now the liberals are admitting that there's communism on college campuses.
College students who are using LSD and marijuana today do not comprise a criminal class. They are not drug addicts.
Reply the teacher gave was, well, the student knows that tomorrow we may lose his head in Vietnam or by an atomic bomb. He's not too concerned about the possibility of damaging a few brain cells with a trip on
They're
Allen.
your best educated, your most creative, and your most courageous young people.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask.
And like it or not, they're going to build you a new civilization.
And you can see that it's absorbing it quite well here.
Help me make it through the night, 'cause I am tired and alone. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I don't like myself anymore. I guess I'm just not interesting. I have no personality. I met a guy with cancer, and he felt sorry for me. I've never been a social guy. I'm always making children cry. I guess that's just the way it's meant to be. Help me make it out of bed, 'cause I am scared and sad. Help me make it through the day, 'cause there's nothing out there for me anymore. 'Cause I'm always coming in last place and getting dirt kicked in my face, and everyone pushes ahead of me and no one stops to care. And I curse the gods each day in vain for giving me this life of pain, when all I really need's a little hug. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I am tired and alone. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I don't like myself.
Testing. Check. Help. Hammy X Hams says no audio. Uh-oh, let me adjust that. Hold on. Hello? Testing. Tar Heel Cole 13 said you broke it after you fixed it. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I think I know what I'm supposed to do. I'll just hit this button here. Bunch of fucking bullshit. Okay, I think we got it. Let me know if you can hear this. There was a little bit of a delay in the chat, so I was seeing comments saying that it was on when it was not on, and vice versa. Okay, everybody, enough of this nonsense. You can hear me now, and you can see me, and it looks like I'm in hell. Is that correct? Mimsy Coon, thank you so much for your Tier 3 subscription. That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for the support here. And thanks the Chunks for your subscription as well. And the Elusive Man says, are we in hell? Esoteric Erebos says, it looks pretty cozy. Yeah, well, it's definitely warm. It's Kate X says, are those skeletons doing the YMCA? There's skeletons in this picture? I can't see that level of detail. Friend Schubert says, that's not a green screen. That's what Glendale looks like. Ooh. Shots fired at my hometown here. But I think Friend Schubert's from Glendale as well. So it's one of those things where it's okay. It's not punching down. It's not punching up. It's punching across. Okay. It's lateral punching, I believe. Saguaro Ooh, thank you so much for your Tier 3 subscription. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And thanks for all the support that you've given here at Henry's Kitchen. Timmy Buble 4422 says, this is the brother of Michael Buble, I guess. They tape Price is Right in Glendale. I didn't know that at all. Had no idea. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Welcome to Henry's Kitchen, the live stream. This is where we make a dish for you while you're chatting. Eclipse Producer says, hi, Henry. What's cooking figurely and literally? I think you mean figuratively. I'll tell you in a second. Butt Smasher Masher wants to say, welcome all. Hi, Henry. Hi, Butt Smasher Masher. Mimsy Coon says, Henry, I visited my puppy today. Once she comes home with me, I will show her all your videos. She's coming home on the 21st. Mimsy Coon, if you feel comfortable with it, put a picture of your puppy in the Discord, and maybe we could show it on stream. I think that most people feel better when they see a puppy or a kitten or some type of lovable creature because they have an entire life ahead of them, and it's exciting, and they're small. So they sort of elicit within us this feeling of compassion, and it's nice to feel that. Okay, enough of that bullshit. No, I'm just kidding. Mimsy Coon says, what channel should I put her? You could do the green screen, and then I can show it on here, or you could put it in the pets, and then it'll just be shown to pets. But if you want us to show it on stream, I think green screen's better, because I look at those every morning that I'm going to stream. Okay. Let's go ahead now and change up the background image here. I don't want to be in hell right now, but I do appreciate that photo that was gifted to us by Melanie. Svephanie gives us a picture of this guy. Ernie, aged 35, executive recruiter. So he recruits executives. Never been married. Wow, look at that mustache. Holy shit. I don't think they wear mustaches like that anymore unless they're making fun. No, it's Kate. I don't think he's dead, or he might be dead now, but it's just saying he's trying to date people, I think, is why they have his age. But Hammy X Ham says, I'm going to spend the Super Bowl playing video games and listening to Jose Suicidio. Oh, that's awesome. Very happy to hear that, Hammy X Hams. Thanks for your subscription. And Bradford Bartos, thanks for resubscribing. Good to see you on here. And Bradford just reminded me that don't forget, if you live anywhere near the Midwest, I'm going to be doing a couple of shows. The 22nd is St. Louis, Missouri, and then also the 1st of March is Chicago, Illinois. And you can get tickets for that at henryphillips.com in the tour section, or henrys.kitchen, or there's probably a link. Yeah, there's a link right here in the chat. Thanks, it's Kate. Oh, Bradford says, bought my tickets. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I've heard the venue is absolutely beautiful. Blue Strawberry. Apparently they have really high-class acts there, and they're going to have me in addition. Donnie Wahlberg says, that's cool. I try not to go anywhere in between Ohio and Nevada. Let me think about that. Ohio and Nevada. So you're more of a coastal guy. Pennsylvania, but of course that's not the coast. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is sort of like the Midwest. Oh, but you're saying between Ohio. So you wouldn't go from Indiana to, say, Colorado. I did it for many years, and I think there's a lot of fun stuff to see. The Elwood Blues says, I slap cat butts. It's just Alvin before the merger. Liberdaria says, my husband, daughter, and friend are coming with me to the St. Louis show. Nice. I'm glad to see people are coming. Boy, I really hate the lighting on my face right now. I wish there was something we could do about it. It's because the sun. I'm going to experiment with different lightings. No, that's not going to work. No. It's good here, but I don't have to stand here. I have to stand here. Getting a little bit better? I don't know. I don't know, guys. Gumme Kende says it's just fine. Yeah, but just fine is not good enough for us here at Henry's Kitchen. It's got to be pretty okay. Dark Aegis says, how quickly can you take out and move a window in your kitchen? We don't have time for that. We got a lot of work to do. Dark Aegis says maybe a series of mirrors like an Egyptian tomb. It sounds very high production and some expensive. Beanie Bo Beanie, what's causing the shadow is the overhead camera, but I need that for my cooking, explaining. So let's just go into that right now. All right, so somebody asked earlier what we're cooking today. Let me get into it. Let's go right into it. Wait, first a comment from Boner of a Lonely Fart. Wish I could go to one of your upcoming shows, but I get panic attacks when I travel. Have you ever had a panic attack while performing? Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I've had a lot of panic attacks. Sometimes I'll just be talking to somebody and having a pleasant conversation, and suddenly my brain just immediately goes to the concept of the futility of existence and the inevitability of all of our lives ending in abject horror. And it's kind of awkward when you're trying to maybe meet a person on a date or something. Matt Glad says, Mr. Henry, sir, I've never had clam chowder made with coffee. How does that work? Well, we're going to find out. Okay, let me get another picture here. It is the Super Bowl here in the United States of America. Maui Girl 45 is making hot dogs and sent us a picture of her hot dog water. A lot of fun foods happening here for the Super Bowl. I think there was some other food. Melanie sent a picture of her mac and cheese. I believe this is called slow-cooked mac and cheese. She said she left it in the oven for 6 hours. And boy, if it's anything like brisket, this is going to be some delicious mac and cheese. Very, very nice. Thank you for sharing this, Melanie. And so I'm excited to see your food. We have some pets. Voodoo sends a picture of Frankie. Voodoo says that they have to leave the country, so Frankie unfortunately had to be given to a friend. But Frankie is okay. That must be very difficult to have to part with Frankie. But thanks for sending a picture. Hopefully you'll have visitation. Hammy Xham says, I burnt some Alfredo sauce last night. Oh, man. Caitlin's Kitchen says, did Frankie snort a line of Cheetos? Yeah, he's got a little bit of Cheeto mustache. He got into the Cheetos. And then Beanie Bo Beanie, our intern, sent us this one. Eating mac and cheese from microwave. I guess this is probably, this cat is just interpreting the way that he hears or she hears phonetically what we say in English. I don't know if this is a direct quote, but I like it. Okay, Nancy Droodles gives us a picture of a seagull attack. A lot of animal pictures today. Fascinating. Gume Kande says, love the little orange feet. Oh, yeah. You gotta love their orange feet. You don't have to. That would be awful if someone held a gun to your head and said, you have to love their orange feet. There's a Black Mirror episode that's similar. Okay, Phaedrus sends us an awesome picture. Why don't we use this as our background? Let's pretend that we're having a Super Bowl party in this house with those cool guitars. Look at that. That looks nice. I don't have a place that looks like this, but we can dream today that this is where we are. I'm going to pull out my guitar. Check, 1, 2. First off, we've got a couple of birthday shout outs to do. Donnie Wahlberg says, I am going to play the banjo on third down. Oh, nice. Sure Shot 22 says, how did you get a picture of my living room? It's the internet. Your living room is all over the internet. Jackie Faye. Jackie Faye says that it's her daughter's 6th birthday today. Okay, well, let's do that one too. All right, we have a few birthdays. We're gonna start by a shout out to our very own JB's Tech, who is a MMA fighter, songwriter, person extraordinaire, tech person. And so apparently it was JB's Tech's birthday yesterday or maybe 2 days ago. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do one for Olivia. And also in the chat earlier, Just Glasson wanted to request a birthday for, I just wrote down Brother David. Brother David, is that a monk or something? But anyway, we're going to go ahead and do one for Brother David as well. And I'm just going to make up the rhymes as we go, so it's going to be a little difficult. Oh, Duza says, did you get mine for Nancy Pelosi's giant knockers? No, I didn't. So let me go ahead and do that too. For a second, I thought that maybe we did that last time, but I guess not. So let's go ahead and do that. Thank you, Duza. It's nobody's birthday. No need for candles on the cake. It's nobody's birthday. It was just a big mistake. It's nobody's birthday. No need to break out the Becks. 'Cause it's nobody's birthday but JB's Tex. It's nobody's birthday. No tail on the donkey today. No need to celebrate being alive when your dreams get whisked away. It's nobody's birthday. No need to book that trip to Bolivia. 'Cause it's nobody's birthday but Olivia. There'll be no balloon animals, no Chuck E. Cheese, no animatronic singing dogs. There'll be none of this for me. And don't give me no birthday cake. I don't need no sympathy. I think I messed that lyric up. The Hallmark stores are all closed and shit. There's been none of that for me. It's nobody's birthday. Uh-oh, it's getting hard here. No need to buy someone knickerbockers, 'cause it's nobody's birthday but Nancy Pelosi's giant knockers. That's the name of Duza's husband, I guess. Okay, here we go. It's nobody's birthday. I'm gonna do a shout out for the brother of Just Glasson. His name is David. Oh my God. Computer, what rhymes with David?
I don't know of any perfect rhymes for David, but here are some words that almost rhyme. Motivated, gated, mated, baited, dated, and medicated.
Okay. It's nobody's birthday. Might as well stay medicated. 'Cause it's nobody's birthday but David. I know, I cheated. I used the computer on that one. I didn't use AI. I used whatever the computer is, which I think just has access to a thesaurus. And even at that, it wasn't very good. But happy birthday to David, Olivia, Nancy Pelosi's giant knockers, as well as JV's Tech. Thank you all. And Matt Glad says, can you do it again, but with a really wet chorus sound effects on the guitar so it sounds like 80s rock ballad? I don't think we have chorus on here. We're lucky to have reverb. Okay, Duza says, husband says thank you. Donnie Wahlberg says, a very happy birthday to Nancy Pelosi's knockers, all-timers. Josh Jackson's 42 says, happy birthday, Nancy's knockers. Okay. Angry Penguin 922 says, serrated. Yeah, that's not bad. I Slap Cat Butts says, Henry, do you use computer when you're not streaming? Is she your roommate? Pretty much, I'd say. Okay. Well, look, we've got a lot of work to do, so let's do a couple more songs. Let me, Parasitosis sent us a couple of pictures. This one, which looks like some sort of an ice sculpture. Is this in Michigan? I know that Parasitosis often sends stuff from Michigan. Okay. So, Mimsy Kuhn says, I sent the image of Peel, Henry. You should show everyone. Oh, you mean, did you send an image of the puppy? Well, let's take a look. I have to open the Discord. Sure Shot says, I was going to say, never seen a sign like that in Michigan. What does it say? What sign are you talking about? My eyes can't see that kind of detail. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Okay, we're going to pull down a pic. Oh, wow. Okay. Pearl. It's an image of a video, because puppers are very hard to get good images of when they're being swarmed. Yes, that is true. Okay, so we're going to pull this down. And the name is Peel or Pearl? Okay. Sorry this is taking a long time, but I think it's going to be worth it. We're all going to take a look at Mimsy Kuhn's new addition to the family. Let's all together celebrate the beginning of a life. This is Pearl. Thank you so much, Mimsy Kuhn, for sending a picture of Pearl. Soon to be addition. Oh yeah, you probably have to go through some paperwork, get some shots, vaccines, all that kind of stuff. Very cool. The Gym Dodger says good food comes from good prep. We can wait. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, thanks, Mimsy, for sending that. And now back to the weird stuff. Well, this one's not weird. This is Pug Lady sending a picture of her turtle just living his best life in the backyard, having some greenery, it looks like, hanging out with another smaller turtle. Wow, that is really cool. Turtles really bring out my compassion because, you know, they seem to me like they're kind of precariously designed, and it's important for us to care for turtles. Caitlin's Kitchen says to be a turtle eating lettuce in the sun. Boy, that would be nice, huh? I guess we could always just eat lettuce in the sun if we wanted to. Boy, we have a lot of pictures here. Gumme Kande sends us this picture. Or did we already look at that one? Yeah, no, but either way, that's nice. I think Gumme Kande is in the American northeastern region. And that's a beautiful pic. Maybe we'll use this as our background for our next song. Actually, it's perfect. So I was thinking I would do a song to honor both teams in the Super Bowl by doing a Boston-related song and a Seattle type of song. Eclipse Producer says, your voice is currently very calming, Henry. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, Pug Lady says this is a gorgeous picture. It really is. Thank you very much, Gumme Kande. Let me center this. Okay, let's go ahead and do this song that nobody requested, but it's a song about Boston. And it's called Please Come to Boston by Dave Loggins. Not to be confused with Kenny Loggins. He's from 1974. He was doing music at the same time, but nowhere near as successful. Although just one song back in those days that plays on the radio all the time, you'll be shitting money for the rest of your life. So we don't have to feel sorry for Dave Loggins living in the shadow. But, I mean, if he's shitting money, then that means that Kenny Loggins is just hemorrhaging diarrhea on a daily basis in monetary form. Okay, everybody, enough of that gross analogy. Let's go ahead and do this song by Dave Loggins. Oh wait, no, wrong key. Please come to Boston for the springtime. I'm staying here with some friends and they've got lots of room. You can sell your paintings on the sidewalk by a cafe where I hope to be working soon. Please come to Boston, she said, fuck that. Why don't you come home to me? She said, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? Boston ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. Where are we? Please come to Denver with the snowfall. We'll move up to the mountains so far that we can't be found. I'll throw I love you echoes down the canyon and then lie awake at night till they come back around. Please come to Denver, she said, fuck that. Boy, would you come home to me? She said, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? Denver ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. Okay, now there's a bridge. Now, if you're ever doing cover songs and you don't know how the bridge goes, which I don't know, you can always just do the chords and speak the words, and maybe it'll sound like kind of dramatic or something. So I'll do that now. Now, this drifter's world goes round and round, and I doubt that it's ever gonna stop. But of all the dreams I've lost or found, and all that I ain't got, I still need to cling to somebody I can sing to. What did he say? Please come to LA to live forever. California life alone is just too hard to build. I live in a house that looks out over the ocean. Can I just say that if he's living in a house that looks over the ocean, maybe he's living beyond his means if he needs a partner to help pay the mortgage or rent or whatever it is. And there's some stars that fell from the sky. That's Vandenberg. That's probably one of those SpaceX rockets that was going up there. Living up on the hill, please come to LA. And she said, fuck that. Why don't you just come home to me? What part of this are you not understanding? She said, rambling man, why don't you settle down? LA can't be your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. Okay. I'm
number one fan of the man from Tennessee.
That's a Boston song. That one goes out to the Patriots. And may they do a good job. May the best team win. I think that's the way it always works, right? That otherwise the team wouldn't have won. Tailwagger 2 says, a bridge within a song would imply that there is a river or fjord of some sort that needs to be crossed for no apparent reason. Yeah, I don't know if bridge is really the right term, or maybe it's speaking metaphorically. Okay, thanks, Saguaro. Ooh, so Sociopathogen says, Henry, why is it that I feel like talking about how much I don't care about football on the same day every year? You know what? You might not care about football, but you might care about getting together with some friends, any friends, or even just by yourself and looking at, maybe from your window you can see other friends having a party, but it's all about community. Butt Smasher Masher says, go Seahawks. Okay, well, I say may the best team win. Okay. Johnston4423 says, what time does the cooking start? Very soon. I usually do a bunch of songs in the beginning, maybe 45 minutes. But we've got a lot of cooking to do here today, so I'm gonna get to work. All right. So let's do this song. This is my tribute to Seattle. Very different. So let's find a different image. Also, we had a lot of images this time around, so Parasitosis sends us this picture, and I think the caption said that looks like he's flying into my hometown, LA. You can see that it's a little crooked. The horizon is a little crooked, and I think the reason for that is if you look at a globe, we are on the part of the sphere that sort of slopes down a little bit, you know? And so that's what you're looking at is the globe, you know, sort of folding over. And you can only see that from a plane, apparently. Armor Ant says, Coriolis something or other. Yeah, no, this is kind of a thing that we know here in LA, and it's very unfortunate. We have beautiful sunsets, but apparently that's because the sun illuminates the pollution that occurs as a result of 10 million people driving at the same time in a 10 square mile place. It's Kate X says, it's the same in the UK. My stairs are really steep because of it. Yeah, I think you're on that the other side where the earth kind of curves down. Okay, Boner of a Lonely Fart says, San Francisco has a huge globe curve. Yeah, well, we're going to see that today because that's, I believe, where the Super Bowl's happening, right? Or somewhere in that San Francisco area. Computer, what county is San Francisco in?
San Francisco is located in San Francisco County.
San Francisco
County. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did. You don't have to be sarcastic.
Thanks for your feedback.
This is my favorite new thing to do with my computer. Computer, I have feedback for you.
Sure. Tell me what's on your mind.
Computer, what did you think of my feedback?
Sure. Tell me what's on your mind.
Oh, you didn't even get the joke. Okay, whatever.
Thanks for telling me.
Okay, enough levity here. We have to do a song to honor Seattle for the Seattle fans out there. I do not have a dog in this race. If I have a dog in this race at all, I would say it's probably Pearl. Okay, Butt Smasher Masher says, I wish my basement wasn't close to being condemned, or else I'd invite you to do a basement show like all the cool rock stars. I've done those. That's pretty cool. Angry Penguin 922 says that's how the computers take all the jobs. Yeah, they're not playing around with jokes and shit. Okay, Beanie Bo Beanie just sends us a generally beautiful picture, so let's go ahead and use this one. This is my tribute to Seattle. I know it's an LA band, but it's a grunge band, and grunge, of course, came out of Seattle, so that's my loose way of tying this request in. This song was requested to us by our very own Parasitosis. So, here it is. It's called Been Caught Stealing. I've been caught stealing once when I was 5. I enjoy stealing. It's just as simple as that. Well, it's a simple fact. When I want something, I don't want to pay for it. I just walk right through the door. Yeah, I walk right through the door. Hey, alright, if I get by, it's mine, it's all mine. My girl, she's one of these people too. She'll go and get her a skirt, stick it under her shirt. She grabbed a razor for me, and she did it just like that. When she wants something, she don't want to pay for it. She walked right through the door. She walked right through the door. Hey, alright, if I get by, it's mine. All mine. Okay, there's a whole guitar solo here. We sat around the pile. We sat and laughed. We sat and laughed and waved it into the air. And we did it just like that. When we want something, we don't want to pay for it. So we walk right through the door. We walk right through the door. Hey, alright, if I get by, it's mine, mine, all mine. Okay, two very different songs, one for Boston and one for Seattle. But I don't want anybody to read anything into the meaning of these songs. I'm just trying to think of, well, one of them was Request, and then the Boston song has the word Boston in it, so I had to do it. But it also says Denver and all these other places, but the name of the song is Boston. Okay, everybody, let's see if we can get another one going here. Oh, well, no, I think we're done with the songs. It's time for us to cook, but let's see if we can get another picture here. Thanks, It's Kate X, for honoring my request last time was to do an album cover of that beautiful picture. I don't remember who submitted the picture, but there was a beautiful ocean picture. This could be an album cover right here too. And then Maui Girl sent the background picture. And then Neat sent their version. This was based on the Jose Suicidio Julio Iglesias collaboration, Divorcio. Balada a las Cucarachas. Oh yeah, the Ballad of the Roaches. Thank you very much, Neat, for sending that. And then I believe there's another piece of artwork from Capacious T. This one looks a little unnerving. I think I look a little bit upset. But the kitchen can be very difficult sometimes. Angry Penguin says, joking aside, I'll be happy to see Drake May get that shit. But we're all sick of the Patriots winning. It's too soon. Oh, I see. Did the Patriots win last? No, they didn't win last time. Last time was Kansas City and the Phillies. So I don't know. You guys are just talking football, which is all good. Feel free to talk about anything you want. I'm just going through pictures here. We've got another one from Dendra Leon. This picture is from Virginia. And apparently it's concrete ice. It's just ice. And it's very annoying to Dendra Leon because it's not fluffy, fun snow that you can play in. It's basically concrete. Goo2112 says normally have a rebuild period before getting right back to it. Yeah, that's true. Okay, what else do we got here? Oh, and Maui Girl sends this picture, and I think this is it for the pictures today. See You in Hell. What was the name of the band that sang the song See You in Hell? Grim Reaper. That was a good one. Esoteric Erebos says, look, Reverbison look lovely. Reverbison. Oh, reverb is on. Oh yeah. Maui Girl says, I found that at a church thrift store. Oh, that's really cute. I think it's awesome. All right, everybody, time to get to work. Enough of this. We did the pictures. Let me get the reverb off for everybody. And enough tiddlywinks, says Donnie Wahlberg. Yeah, we're pussy farting around a little bit too much. Caitlin's Kitchen says, holy shit, I thought we were actually at the church sale. No, we've been teleporting all over the world here. Check, 1, 2. Okay. All right, well, let's get to work here. So, what I've prepared for us today is a delicious combination of foods that Boston is famous for and also that Seattle is famous for. So, we're going to... Shirley's Newt says, I'm watching, but I'm in church, so I can't listen. Oh, yeah, no, you don't want to be playing this out loud in church. But maybe when you're done, you can turn the volume up. Okay. Oh, wait. Shirley's Newt says, I'm watching, but I'm in church, so I can't listen. So they didn't hear what I just said, so... There we go. Okay. So what we're going to be doing, Sociopathogen says legal seafood is the strangest business name in Boston. See, that's the thing. There's seafood in both places. One is known for its clam chowder, and then the other one's known for its salmon, I believe. We're going to be taking the coffee approach because Seattle's also known for coffee in addition to grunge music. Regular Benji says, Henry, any advice for bar chords? So far, I'm progressing my guitar playing by just ignoring any song. Okay, well, you're going to have to use a beginner guitar so that your fingers can get used to that feel. I really wasn't able to do it on the acoustic guitar in the beginning. I had to use the electric guitar because it's got a skinnier neck and the strings are closer to the fretboard, so you don't have to push as hard. You're going to have to ease your way into it and start building the muscle just like any other muscle. I always tell everybody your first guitar should be a real easy guitar to play. Otherwise, you're going to just think it's too frustrating. Okay. Donnie Wahlberg says Mozart first learned on a Toys R Us piano. I didn't realize that. That's amazing. It gives us all hope. Okay, everybody. Let's get to work here. So the recipe that I've prepared today is quick and easy clam chowder. And, you know, you can't make this stuff up. Cook time, it says 8 hours. I didn't realize that when I picked this recipe. In what world is 8 hours quick? It's not quick. And easy, well, we're going to find out. I sure hope it's easy. I don't feel like working super hard right now. Okay, so, but for coffee, we're going to make the coffee while we're waiting for the other one to cook. But I'm not leaving it in there for 8 hours. I figure once it's hot, it'll be ready to eat. But we're going to be making New England clam chowder, the way they make it in Boston. Let's go over some of our ingredients here. We need, well, I'm going to be dividing these ingredients. Yields 10 servings, so I'm going to do half of a pint, half of a pint of heavy whipping cream, as well as half a quart of half and half cream. 1 Russell potato, we might just use half of it. I've got my coffee from Seattle and a coffee mug. We have condensed cream of celery soup. Make sure you get the condensed kind because we're going to be adding our water to it. And I also have home-style New England clam chowder. So why there's an ingredient in a recipe for New England clam chowder that's actually clam chowder kind of hurts my brain. That's like really weird. But anyway, it says bay leaf, but I have something even better. This is Old Bay seasoning, which I guess is probably old bay leaves kind of crushed up maybe. Empty Astronaut says you're very into New England cuisine between this and the fluff. Well, the fluff was gifted to me by, I think that was Duza who gave us the fluff. Parasitosis says, Henry, why are you streaming at 5 a.m.? No, it's the usual time here. I'm not sure what time it is where you are. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think parasitosis is in Japan or some place like that. Computer, what time is it in Japan?
In Japan, it's 5:51 a.m.
Oh, so it can't be Japan. Okay. Wow, we've got to check in on our alerts. Stuff is coming down the pike. Butt Smasher Masher. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. The Cheernex. Thank you so much for the bits. Beelzebub just resubscribed at the tier 3 level. Amazing. Thank you, Beelzebub. And it says hello from Sapporo. Sapporo is in Japan, right? I mean, is that the name of the beer? It's a great beer. Wow, that would be great to go to the place where they actually have the beer. JB's Tech's been to Japan a lot. Maybe he could tell you the cool places to go. Congratulations on making it to Japan. And thanks again to Boner of a Lonely Fart for your subscription and the Cheerinex and Butt Smasher Masher. Lazy T says, hello, my dear pals in Japan. You're in Japan too? Parasitosis, I had a Sapporo yesterday. It was very tasty. That sounds awesome. Esoteric Erebos says, I've been to Japan. Pretty slay. Okay, everybody's in Japan. Okay, everybody. Well, we're just going to continue making our shit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by cutting up our potato. And we're not going to be cooking this for 6 to 8 hours like the recipe says. So what I'm going to do, and I've done this before, and you've probably seen me, I'm going to take a moderately sharp knife, nothing too crazy, and I'm going to cut this in half, right? And then we want to get a potato peeler. I don't know if you saw the movie Weapons, but I will never be able to look at one of these things the same way again. But I know what I'm going to pull out if I ever get an intruder or a generally nefarious opponent in my apartment. Probably won't. Okay. Angry Penguin 922 says Henry is to Japan what David Hasselhoff is to Germany. Boy, I wish. Boy, David Hasselhoff, apparently he is a real star there. But the Germans also gave us the Scorpions, so we can't really knock their ability to determine what rocks. And I mean that in all sincerity. I was a big Scorpions fan. Isn't Udo Dirkenschneider also from Germany? The band Accept? Udo Dirkenschneider is a fun name to say. I suggest just saying it anytime you're bored. If you say it a lot of times at night to yourself, it can help you go to sleep. Okay, Pancake King says, I'm so happy for everyone in Japan. Oh, really? Did they win something? Maybe with the Olympics? Okay, now I'm going to cut these. I think I'm going to cut them into eighths, which actually, if you guys are paying attention, would be 16ths because we have another half of a potato here. So I'm going to simply put these on a plate. Boom. And we're going to put this in our microwave. Maybe about 3 minutes on high. See, if I know you guys have questions and I want to get to them. Angry Penguin says it can't be. It doesn't sound real. Sir Dwavid says, are these ingredients real or made with AI? No, these are real ingredients. I don't know. I guess nowadays we're all sort of questioning everything. Beanie Bo Beanie says, the microwave. Yeah, that's the way that cats pronounce microwave. I think they are confused. Trash Baby 123, I worship you as a god. Thank you, Trash Baby 123. That's probably one of the most incredible things anybody's ever said to me. Parasitosis says real ingredients. Papa John's. Yep. Caitlin's Kitchen says we're all also made of AI. Yeah, technically. Well, we're made of I, and in some cases AI. Pancake King says I was lucky enough to grow up in Alaska and Japan, and I'm always stoked when people get to visit. They're both such unique places. Oh yeah, what is going on here? I'm hearing weird popping noises coming from my potatoes and it's pissing me off. It's just making me uneasy. I'm sorry about that, everybody. Okay. Greetings from Space asks the right questions. Where is the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl is right here in the form of a Dutch oven. Not to be confused with the act of farting under the sheets and holding it in, or whatever that expression is. It's awful. Not to be confused with splitting money with your date and going Dutch or whatever. This is a real Dutch oven. And we are going to be using this as our work bowl and also as our cooking utensil. So it says here for the directions. Now I will say the directions are easy. It's not quick and easy. Quick is not 8 hours. 8 hours is not quick. Esoteric Erebos, this was gifted to us by the users of Henry's Kitchen here, right here on Twitch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Borsenvin pick out this beautiful item, this Staub? This is an incredible piece of equipment. It's very badass. Okay, Henry, did you poke holes in the potatoes? No, I did not. I didn't know I had to. I thought by cutting it, I didn't have to. I'm scared to open this thing. Oh boy. Wow, even the plate is hot. We're going to let that sit for a while. Okay, so we're going to mix our cream of celery soup. So we'll go ahead and do this here. We need, of course, our situation. I hate using this thing. Maybe we won't use this just yet. Why do they make this impossible? Oh, it's got a thing here. I had it on the wrong side. Okay. So we've got one 10-ounce can here. We are going to be using half of this. So maybe like that. Cream of celery. I had no idea that there was so much cream in celery. In fact, it doesn't sound real. Okay. So maybe we can put this back in the fridge. Use it for another time that we need to make this same dish. This is messy. Computer, how much time left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
Okay. And then we also want to add in our potatoes. So, just going to put these in here. Hopefully those will get nice and soft. And then we need, of course, the star ingredient for our New England clam chowder that we're making. Some New England clam chowder. Sean7727 says, Henry, what form of heating do you have in your home? I'm compiling. I believe it's gas. That clam chowder is going to be a real nice addition to our clam chowder. Okay, we're going to use it all. Next up, I kind of wish I would have cut those potatoes a little more. It's not really too late, I don't think. I just don't want to destroy the beautiful Dutch oven. So this is very unsafe what I'm doing here, actually. Whew! That's hot. This is stupid. I just want to tell any beginner chefs out there, always cut before you've put your items in the work bowl. it's going to be much easier, and you're not going to destroy or have to work around destroying your beautiful cookware. Boy, those potatoes is hot. Ah! Okay, so we're going to have some pretty chunky potatoes here. Okay. It smells good. It smells like clam chowder already. I know you guys have questions. I'm going to get to them. Nancy Drudel says, watch the knife on the surface of the pot. Yes, that's why I was doing it in such a ridiculous fashion, because I didn't want to touch the knife. Because that's basically, I think it's glass. Okay. Timmy Buble 4422 says, I am allergic to clams. They make me shit water. I don't know if that means that it's an allergy so much as it triggers your colon. It sort of tickles the end of your colon, I think, the active ingredient. Angry Penguin 922 says, just use Spam as a substitute. Yeah, I suppose you could do that. Okay, everybody, we've got work to do. I want to get to your questions, but what else do we need in here? We need our... Oh, our cream, of course. But we already have cream in there, so I'm not really sure why we're doing this. But, okay. This is some half and half. And then it also wants a little bit of heavy whipping cream. The recipe also called for clams, minced clams, but that's not a thing apparently. I asked the guy at the supermarket, do you have clams? And he looked almost offended. Oh, yeah, no, not clams. I asked him if he had crabs. And it wasn't really a supermarket. It was just a street corner. Armor Ant says, a heavy whipping cream after a colon tickle is always a good time. Sure. Esoteric Erebos says, I think this recipe would make me shit my pants. Well, that's why you don't want to be wearing pants while you're making this if you're a beginner. Donnie Wahlberg says, I don't know why he would be offended. I don't know either. People, yeah, everybody's got their thing. Oh, yeah, and the last thing we need here is our seasonings. So, Hammy X Hams cheered. Thank you. Let's check in on our alerts here. Hammy X Ham says, maybe one day you can make that red clam chowder. I don't trust red clam chowder, but I've always been curious. Yeah, I don't understand what the difference is. Computer, what's the difference between red clam chowder and then the white kind?
From Ask.com.
Ask.com.
Traditional New England clam chowder is white and creamy in appearance. Manhattan clam chowder features a tomato-based broth that gives it a distinctive red color.
Oh, it's Manhattan, I see. They always got to do stuff different there in New York, right? Okay, I think I've got enough seasoning in there. I'm not sure. You know what I think I'm going to do? Is I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper from our absolutely adorable salt and pepper and salt shakers, gifted to us by Game Master Flash, who I believe is in that place also, Japan. Caitlin's Kitchen says, I get my seafood from the ice cream truck. Ugh. I don't know if I would buy unlicensed or, unregulated seafood. And I don't think that those guys in those trucks are legit vendors. Unless times have changed since I was a kid. I still want to cut some of these chunks. This is actually probably a good way to do it. Just pull up a chunk and put it on your spatula and then cut it that way. See if we have any other really big problematic chunks. Yeah, this one's problematic. Okay. Yeah, we got some really big, very problematic potato situation activity here. I really should have just diced them beforehand. But the recipe didn't say to dice them, so why am I going to do that? Tuesday Teaser says, after it cooks a while, I bet the potatoes will cut easily with the spatula. Yeah, that's part of my hope here. Okay. Let's, I think we're ready to put this sucker in the oven. These potatoes are driving me apeshit. Here's another problematic one. I know this probably isn't the most entertaining thing to watch. A middle-aged guy trying to cut a potato on top of his spatula. But then again, it might be. Mr. Dink's Vibrator says, hey, Chad, is Henry on any of the big gambling sites? I'd like to make a wager on this clam chowder. I think there's a way to do that in the Discord. I will say I don't see any way this is going to not come out well, because we literally just took a clam chowder can and put it in our dish, which I'm a little surprised by that would be the recipe. It feels like cheating to me. All right, everybody, here we go. Next step to our quick and easy. It says here, preheat oven to 400 degrees. Tar heel coal 13. Well, I didn't. Why don't they ever start with preheat the oven? That should be the first ingredient they give. Yeah, no, I thought we were going to do it on the stove. That's what I'm going to do anyway, because this thing gets hot. That's why they call it a Dutch oven. Tar Heel Cole says, I was under the impression a Dutch oven was farting type of prank. I didn't know it doubled as a cooking apparatus. Yeah, the concept of this thing is that it holds the heat inside of it so it doesn't escape. And it's got to come up gradually, apparently. But I think that's sort of the where they come up with the Dutch oven slang term. WTF, all the clam chowder has been diluted, needs more clams. Yeah, but I don't have any more clams. Apparently that's not a thing that you can get easily. Angry Penguin says, computer, can I bet on Henry's Kitchen?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Sarah Lixer, why do they call it Dutch oven when you of in the cold foot of out hot eat the food? I don't know. Nancy Drudel says, I dissected a clam in a zoology class. They're both male and female. Yeah, I think that what do they call that? Androgynous or something. Ambidextrous. Okay. All right, everybody. So we've got our milk, or our half and half, and our whipping cream. We want to put these away because these are perishable. But they're going to be great for our coffee in a second, which is exactly what we're going to move on to right now. So, boy, I'm really making a mess with this clam shit. with the cream stuff, the celery and clam chowder and all that. All right. I'm going through a lot of paper towels. We've got a potato that we want to salvage, so I'm going to look for, there's a thing called, this is called a prophylactic, and it literally is going to cover up your potato like so, and it's just going to cover up the vulnerable part. So there you go. Let's put that away. I wish I had peanuts. I don't remember has subscribed, saying, thank you, Henry, for showing me gourmet meals. My family has loved them. That's awesome. That's very awesome to hear. Thank you very much. I'm glad. Thank you for your subscription. And also Anonymous, the group Anonymous that does the anonymous hacking and stuff, has gifted a tier 1 sub to Clam Chowder with cheese. And by the way, we don't have cheese in this, but we have a lot of dairy. Very, very cool. Nancy Drudel says that we can make a facial mask with the potato peels. That seems weird, but sure. WTF says hermaphrodite stew doesn't have the same ring to it. Yeah. Angry Penguin 922 says, I knew we could use the peels. Yeah, we might be able to salvage those. But right now, let's get to our coffee. Okay. So, coffee. This is from Pacific Food Mart. Pacific is, of course, Seattle. So this is going to be a tribute to Seattle. We want to take the beans. We'll pour out just a few of the beans. Maybe grab us. Oh, this isn't bean coffee. This is already crushed. So let's just, we don't have to crush them. That's good. Let's just pull out enough to where we think that would be enough for one person's cup of coffee. I have coffee filters. If you don't have a coffee filter, you can use the whatchamacallit, the paper towel. I don't recommend it. Oh, something just broke there. I need a rubber band. Do I not have a rubber band? Okay, I have some type of tie. This might have been from a gift that we got from you guys. Sorry, I didn't expect this part to be a pain in the ass. Oh, this is stupid. What's happening here? I just need a rubber band. Rubber bands, you never buy rubber bands. They're just sort of on loan from the universe. Okay, I think we're going to try without the rubber band. I've never tried it this way. I have a hot water heater. Let's talk a little bit about coffee temperatures. Coffee needs to be 180 degrees hot, Fahrenheit. If you do it too much, you're going to burn the flavor out of your coffee. If you don't do it enough, you're going to have raw coffee, and that's going to give you botulism and all kinds of other bacterial foodborne illnesses. So parasitosis says 95 Celsius. Yeah, parasitosis, don't forget, is our resident weights and measures expert. Bradford Bartos says cooking is hard. It really is. There's a lot of math. That's why we go to restaurants usually. It's Kate X says, Henry, there was a conspiracy posted on Reddit about no one called Henry has ever climbed a ladder. Can you confirm? I mean, I've used stairs. I've used an escalator. I've gone up a fireman's pole, if you can imagine that. I don't know that I've ever gone up a ladder. Unless there was a time that I did it and I didn't think about it. Anyway, let's see where we're at here. 175 degrees. 180. Oh shit. I didn't, we gotta put our coffee. So I don't have a rubber band, so I am gonna have to hold this thing to dear life, and I do not want to get any of that hot water on my hands. And this is called the pour over technique, where you're literally, computer, why do they call it a pour over?
I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows why they call it a pour over. It's just one of those crazy words that you're just like, how did they come up with that? Like pancake. Why would they call it a pancake? Dark Ages says this is just like when I try to make tea when camping. Yeah, it's very similar to that process. Okay. Once you've gone all the way down in your liquid, you can actually pour a little bit more, but be careful. You don't want that filter to collapse on you. That's very important. And I'm finding that I don't even really need the rubber band, which is nice. This is going to be very hot, so we're not going to eat it just yet. Let's see how this stuff's doing. We want to bring this to a boil. So I'm going to get that a little hotter. I think everything's kind of under control at the moment. Let's see what's going on with this coffee here. Wow, it's almost like I haven't poured any in there. We're going to have to pour a lot more in there. We are showing our homage to Seattle, the Seattle Seahawks, who are competing in the Super Bowl today, and also to Boston by making some authentic Boston, or in New England anyway, clam chowder with plenty of cream and not a lot of clam. Dazzlecat asks if Seattle invented coffee. Yeah, well, the early American peoples had coffee beans and they harvested them, and Seattle just happened to be there at the time, I guess. I don't know. Parasitosis says Seattle invented coffee in 1368. Yeah, so his answer is much more specific and more confident than mine, so it's probably right. Schneebs Plays says Captain Starbuck invented coffee. Captain Buck. Okay. Well, it looks like there's conflicting reports, but, you know, history is a living, breathing process. Nancy Drudel says, Henry, are there bumps under the lid of the Staub? I think so. I'm not sure. Should I check? It's getting hot. Yeah, there are raised. There is a raised situation there for sure. Why? Does that mean something good or bad? Uh-oh, it's sticking to the bottom of my Staub. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. It's kind of getting messy all over the place. Okay, I think it's time that we take out our coffee here. I mean, I poured a lot in there, right? Like, how do I only have this much coffee? I think it's one of those things where the coffee mug itself is very big. Or it's an optical illusion. I'm not sure, but we're going to taste that coffee. I think it's going to be very strong. We'll see. I'm going to give it a little stir for good riddance. Schneebs plays. Yeah, okay. The Chunks says some kind of coffee squeezer or juicer might be in order. I don't know. Computer, how much is a coffee juicer?
The top result is cold pressed juicer, 5.5 inches wide feed chute juice machine, high juice yield. It's $119.99.
Very expensive, but it sounds like a badass piece of equipment right there. Holy shit. Vados says, I've never seen anybody stir with a knife before. Always innovating. Yeah, I mean, you can stir with just about anything. I don't think that people realize that. All right, let's try this coffee. Terrible. Okay, I'm gonna get another filter, I think. And this is called double filter. And I'm gonna pour our hot water through there, this time with no coffee. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna balance out the one that's got too much coffee that's already in there. This is the type of thing. It's basically a throttling. It's not a perfect science. Angry Penguin 922 says maybe we should just try this whole thing without the filter. Unfiltered coffee? I don't know. Armor Ant says you can stir coffee with your finger and check how hot it is at the same time. You can use 2 fingers if you want to be fancy. No. Tar Heel Cole says this is bad news for the Seahawks. Yeah. Okay. I think we've done this. Okay, yeah. See, now it looks like a full cup of coffee. Let's see if this is any better. Rocket Ship Lamp has subscribed. Thank you very much, Rocket Ship Lamp. Angry Penguin says, that's a thirsty mug, Henry. I hope you had lots of water. Yeah, we just did. We used filtered water. Okay. Tar Heel Cole says the water is definitely still 180 degrees. Yes, it is. Dude Tranquil just subscribed for 6 months. Thank you very much for that, Dude Tranquil. Let's see here. It's not as good as doing this in a coffee maker, and I do have a coffee maker. I just thought I'd show you something different, you know. I thought this is the way they do it in the fancy places. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have that zippy pow. All right, everybody. I am going to do just a little bit of cleanup here. Let's get rid of these cans. Shouldn't there be... Oh, yeah. There's one can that is still work in progress there. This has my coffee on it, so I got to be careful. I think I told everybody that I have roaches again, so that's a bummer. But I'm going to treat them a little differently this time. Okay. I think it's time for us to go ahead and do our thank you song. But let's get to some of your questions. Sarah Elixir says, couldn't you just pour the water without a filter? Well, yeah, but then it'd be unfiltered water. I mean, you could. Empty Astronaut says, is the mallet for roaches? Yeah, you've got all these people trying to sell you the Roach Hotel and certain things that you plug up the holes, some kind of putty that you plug up the holes in your apartment or whatever. But this is the old school method. It's basically a fly swatter, but in this case you're actually doing it with a mallet. Doctor Who HQ says, what happened to the neon sign? Was that the Halloween stream? I think it was Halloween. Yeah. Esoteric Erebos says it's a cockswatter. Yeah, cockroach swatter might be an important part of it. Parasitosis, God, have that mallet on ready to fuck up the neighbors when they bitch about the music. Yeah, right? And speaking of which, we're going to do that right now. I mean, do the music. We're not going to fuck up the neighbors. Unless they come and complain. Alright, let's put on some reverb-a-son. Where is our reverb? Here we go. Check 1, 2. Help! This is it's a collaborative process here at Henry's Kitchen. It takes a village, and it's really important for me to express gratitude to all the people who help contribute to this situation. And I'm going to go ahead and do this song as a thank you to you, the users of Henry's Kitchen. This means the moderators, the folks running the Discord 24/7, the people who have done collaborations with us, like big name streamers and stuff, people who've done raids, also the tier 3 subscribers, the technical advisors, just the general people who contribute, and thank you so much. Butt Smasher Masher says, is the album still on track? Yeah. I want to announce this, the new Jose Suicidio album is very close to being completed in terms of all the master tracks, probably about another week, because I'm going to get a couple of, Jose's going to get a couple of people to contribute some of their musical talent to it over the next week, some singers and whatnot, and then comes the paperwork, publishing, licensing, all that stuff, distribution, and I'm going to have to figure out how to do all that, because Jose Suicidio is just a lazy sack of shit who just writes the music. But there's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of work, but yeah, it's basically done. It's an hour and, I'm sorry, no, what am I saying? It's 35 minutes and 20 seconds, I believe, total running time. And it's got 13 tracks on it. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this song to the tune of... Why don't we do this to the tune of Holy Guacamole by Jose Suicidio. Fucking dingo bop, Dom Beef, Hot Bear 1110, Do Dingle, Dog Ogle, Dr. Flanges, Bacchus, Sheen, Yes, Beelzebub, Mochi's Nirvana, It's K, Kairosa, Bumble Vision, and the LGX. Chef Reactions, Husky Boyle, Bill Larkin Music, The Toily, Nim Moon Moon, Emeroo, Orca Mind, S-Fan, and Bonnie, Dazzle Cat, Blurry Little Quest, Borson Vanilla, Parasitosis, and don't forget Quanto. And our intern, Beanie Bobini, VCT, Purple Donut, filling his fruit, Tankard, and Borsonville, Zodiac Tone, Gary Busey, ASMR, Workball, Shandis, Nova Glarian, Mr. Gooseberry VT, D's Nuts, Game Master Flash, and Mimsy Coon. Time for a key change. The Cat Food Taste Tester, the Chironex, Mochi's Nirvana, Red Hot, Hibachi, Ransom GR, Aciditis, Michelle Heffy, Dazzle Cat, Zodbane, Toke My Nuts, Saguaro, Burrito 555, Dinosaur, JV's Tech, Sickly Boy, Beelzebub, Hand Lips 1, and Caitlin's Kitchen, Embry 225, Yarchasm, Nico Teso, Buble, Michael Buble 4422, Potato Cat Breeder, Passion Arrow, Min Ocean 64, Midnight Faded, JSBX Fan, Aciditis, Pool Boy 789, and don't forget Quantum. Kind of improvised a little jazz at the end there. Hey, Giraffe Guy, thank you very much for subscribing for 14 months on the Prime. Thank you very much for that. Thanks, Caitlin's Kitchen. Speaking of Caitlin's Kitchen, Chicago, March 1st, Zany's Comedy Club, the location by the airport at Rosemont. It's going to be a big show, so check out henryphillips.com or henrys.kitchen and look at the tour section, and you can get tickets for that, or the St. Louis show, February 22nd. And okay, everybody, I think it's time for us to ask ourselves, my God, what have we done? Four Wheelers says, is that rich asshole going to share his royalties with you this time? I get a fee to work with Jose Suicidio, but in no way is it proportionate. Shirley's Newt just gifted a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much, Shirley's Newt. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you very much for giving us that gift and for your contribution. Computer, how much money is Jose Suicidio's net worth?
From Kayako.com. Jose is worth $4.5 million.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, what I get is a pittance compared to what he's worth. It's Kate X says, will the album be on Bandcamp? Yes, I believe I'm going to have to research Bandcamp and figure out how to put it on there for Jose Suicidio. I'm very inspired by Orca Mind. Not only do they make great music, and they've done these incredible covers of Jose Suicidio. I'm going to give you a little preview right now, but they're doing it. They are independent artists who came up with a wonderful album, and they've got it on Bandcamp, and there's just all this cool artwork and all these other things. So they're an inspiration. Let me see if I can find their video of them doing God Help Me. This was a gift for the birthday stream I wrote.
God help me. God help me.
This is a Jose Suicidio original.
Please don't hurt me.
Except
Don't desert me.
the melody is based on a theme
God save me
by Poulenc.
from the life you gave me. Oh God.
That's Orca Mind getting down with the Suicidio, which, by the way, I should say that his name is actually that. But if you are struggling with depression, I've struggled through it most of my life, and so has Jose. So not trying to make light, but that being said, yeah, it was pretty incredible that Orca Mind did that nice rendition for us. And Dude Tranquil says, this is why Suicidio makes the big bucks. Yeah, so just Orca Mind covering that song, Jose Suicidio got a check for like $100,000. But it came from Bezos or something. I don't know how it all works, but it's like publishing something or other. Maui Girl says, I sang it at a hotel in Maui. Wow, really? That would have been interesting to see. Giraffe Guy, I hate that Suicidio guy, but by God is he talented. Yeah, he sure is. Dendreleon, probably most of the fans as well. Yeah, you're right about the depression part. Just a little bit about me. I have struggled with depression for a long time. It might be, to a large extent, biochemical. I've been on various types of drugs and stuff, but I will say that hanging out with friends that have a sense of humor, that have similar problems, can make it a lot better. That's just my personal experience. Shirley's Newt says, I'm going to a support bowl party, but I literally don't even know what teams are playing. You might mean Super Bowl, but a support bowl party sounds better, actually. So it's the Seattle Seahawks and the Boston Patriots, and right now we are about to try our clam chowder. If you want to see what the one in the picture looks like, now I don't know how in God's name we're going to have something that looks like that. We didn't even use bread. But that's the one in their picture. But ours won't look like that. But we'll see. We'll see what it does look like. We're going to put on the oven glove. This is going to be very hot. It's a Dutch oven. Wow, I don't think this is going to be too hot. Oh boy. Let's get a little ladle. Oh no, a lot of it's stuck to the bottom of the Dutch oven somehow. Wow, even my hand is hot. Just being in the general vicinity of this thing. This is very hot. Okay, we're just going to leave that there for now. Hold on.
Delicious.
Me. Shirley's New just cheered $1,000. Not $1,000, 1,000 bits. I don't know why that made me laugh. I think probably because if it were $1,000, my reaction would have been different. But 1,000 bits, which is awesome. Thank you very much, Shirley's Newt. Computer, how many bits is $1? I just want people to know Computer, how
I'm
many?
not quite sure how to help you with that.
I think it's a penny, so 1,000 pennies would be $10. Dark Ages says we don't know the conversion rate. It could still be $1,000. Oh, okay, wow. Well, holy shit! Thank you, Shirley's Newt. Whether it was $10 or $1,000 or even $1 or 1 penny, it's very, very generous of you, and thanks for helping us keep the lights on here. As you can see, I actually don't even have the lights on here. And also, Butt Smasher Masher says, wow, this is 100 bits. Thank you, Butt Smasher Masher. This is the equivalent of being served fajitas in a sizzling pan at a Mexican restaurant. Yeah, it is a little bit like that. Well, this is what we made today. This is Seattle's coffee. Well, coffee that's from the general Pacific Coast area. Why is that noise happening? It's kind of driving me batshit. And then here we have our beautiful and succulent looking bowl of New England authentic Boston clam chowder to honor the Patriots and the Seahawks, and they are both divided by a mallet of competition. And today we will see which one will win. The better team will win, because that's the way that sports is usually determined. Angry Penguin 922 says, take the mallet and let the intrusive thoughts win. Henry? Okay. All right, that noise is driving me ape shit, and I don't know how to do anything about it. But here, I'm going to take a bite of this, although I think it's probably still very hot, but let's figure this out. Probably going to have to blow on this for like 5 minutes. Loose USB, yeah, but it's not a cord that I can replace. It's the Stream Deck or whatever. Angry Penguin, are you going to eat the rubber mallet? No, that was not part of the dish. That was sort of the metaphorical divider between the two teams. Tubbug says, can you put the Settle coffee also in a bowl? Would be super. Oh, I see, like a Super Bowl. Yeah, this is a lot of heat. Chris is in DC, says, we can see the here. What does that mean, we can see the here? I like it. It's kind of like poetry, what you're doing there. Shirley's Newt says, eat the chowder with the mallet. A lot of interesting suggestions here. We've got a flying bug. I don't mind the flying ones as much. I'm a little afraid of how hot this is, but let's see. That was a big potato chunk. And you know what? It was good. I think that by using actual clam chowder in our recipe for clam chowder, we did ourselves a favor, because we added more potatoes. I know somebody mentioned that it was going to come out a little thin because of all the cream that we added, but I think the potatoes are soaking them up nicely. I think this is probably okay. Esoteric Erebos says more chowder per chowder. Yeah, we put clam chowder in our clam chowder, thus creating sort of a meta experience. Angry Penguin 922 says, Henry, I think the painting has turned invisible. Oh yeah, no, the painting is just not there at the moment. I can't find it, but we're gonna find it. Hey, Hammy X Hams gifted us a sub. Thank you very much for that, Hammy X Hams. Let's take the coffee here after the clam chowder. It's fine. You know what? This coffee is a little better than mediocre. And by the way, mediocre just means medium. It doesn't mean bad. So I would say this is a mediocre cup of coffee. And this is mediocre New England clam chowder. So I'd say it's dead even in terms of these two teams, and I don't really know. Computer, who is favored to win in the Super Bowl?
Currently, the Seahawks are favored by 4.5 points against the Patriots. The game kicks off this afternoon at 3:30 p.m. at Levi's Stadium. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Computer, stop.
Thanks for your feedback.
Just Glasson says, Brother David just saw your birthday shout out and said it was the best gift ever. Wow. Thank you, Henry. You've given us so many laughs over the years. Wow, that's very cool. Thank you, Just Glasson. And happy birthday to Brother David. Okay, everybody. The Super Bowl is going to start very soon here. Parasitosis says, Yo, dog, I heard clam chowder. So we put clam chowder in your clam chowder. Yeah. That's basically exactly what we did. Butt Smasher Masher wants to know if I'm near the stadium. No. No, I'm actually about 6 hours away. Butt Smasher Masher says, should have made pigs in a blanket for the game. Is that a popular thing from Boston or something? I slap cat butts, and I hope you don't slap them too hard. I hope by slap you mean you're just doing a little pat-pat on the butts. It turns out cooking isn't too hard if you buy it pre-made. Yeah, that's one of the secrets. If you watch all these guys, everybody who's famous, Gordon Ramsay, whoever that one French guy is, they will buy soups that are very expensive from the store and they will put it in their soup, and that's why it comes out delicious. Boston baked beans, yeah, that's a good call. Okay, everybody, well, the Super Bowl is going to happen very soon. I want to let everybody get to their parties or get to watch it or whatever, but Echo Moten says, I love your cloud eggs video on YouTube. I tried it yesterday. Yeah, those were very difficult. I want to thank you all for joining us here at Henry's Kitchen. Thanks, everybody, and happy birthday to everybody. And also thank you for all of the wonderful gift subs and the Mimsy Coon for the Tier 3 subscription, as well as Beelzebub and the Cheernex Tier 3 subscription. Thank you very much for that. And Saguaro Ooh, we had a lot of them today, so thank you all. And just thanks everybody. And be sure and check out Orcamind. They don't just do Jose Suicidio covers. They actually do a lot of their own original music, which is great. Chromochi just subscribed. Thank you, Koromochi. Thank you very much. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great Super Bowl Sunday, and I'll see you Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, the usual time, and we'll make some more shit. All right, everybody. Thanks. Have a great day.